Imagine this. May disaster response drone na kailangan maghanap ng survivors pagkatapos ng bagyo. Kulang ang mapa, mahina ang visibility, pabago-bago ang hangin, at paubos ang battery. Isang maling desisyon lang, pwedeng madelay ang rescue. So here's the big question. Paano nagdi-decide ang AI kapag hindi nito nakikita ang buong mundo at hindi predictable ang result ng bawat action? In this Tech Talk, sasagutin natin yan through yung sa Chapter 4 of Artificial Intelligence, a modern approach. Ipapaliwanag natin ang local search, hill climbing, simulated annealing ng genetic algorithms, belief states, and or search at online search using examples from disaster response, cybersecurity, and digital forensics. Ako nga po pala si Alan Burgos and this is Tech Talk with Alan Burgos, where complex computing concepts become clear, practical, and useful. Stay until the final synthesis because I will give you one simple framework that connects all the algorithm in this chapter. The main question of chapter 4 is this. How can an intelligent agent decide what to do when it cannot completely predict or observe its environment? The question is important because in the real world, environments are rarely perfect or completely predictable. For example, a robot may not always know its exact location. A navigation app may not immediately know that a road is flooded or blocked. In cybersecurity, an investigator may not yet know whether an incident was caused by malware, insider misuse, or simple or simply a system misconfiguration. So, ang ano natin dito, hindi pwedeng laging umasa ang agent sa complete and certain information. It must be able to make decisions even when some information is missing, when actions may produce different results, or when the environment is still unknown. Because of this, Chapter 4 introduces more flexible search methods. These methods allow an agent to handle uncertainty, partial observation, continuous variables, and unknown spaces. Habang dinidiscuss natin ang chapter, keep this pattern in mind. When one assumption becomes weaker, the agent needs a more flexible search strategy. So now, let us compare the simplified search environment of Chapter 3 with the more realistic and complex environment introduced in Chapter 4. This slide shows the transition rather, from Chapter 3 to Chapter 4. Sa Chapter 3, we are dealing with what I would call a clean search world. The agent knows its current state, alam nito kung ano ang possible actions, at predictable ang result ng each action. Because of that, the agent can plan a sequence of steps from the initial state hanggang sa goal. Parang puzzle siya where all the rules are visible and nothing unexpected happens habang nagsusolve tayo. Di po ba ganun naman? But Chapter 4 introduces a more realistic search world. Dito, ito ang reality. Hindi na laging complete ang information ng agent at hindi rin guaranteed na one action will always produce the same result. In some problems, the exact path is no longer the main concern. What matters is finding a good final state. In other cases, the state may include continuous values such as distance, location, speed, or cost. Actions may also lead to several possible outcomes. Sensors may provide only partial information, and sometimes the environment is completely unknown at the beginning. Because of these complications, the solution is no longer always a simple sequence of actions. It may become an optimized final state, a conditional plan, a belief state, or an online search process where the agent learns while acting. So the main idea is this: as the environment becomes more complex, the search strategy must also become more flexible. With that, let me now present the roadmap of the session. This learning session follows the same structure used in Chapter 4. First, we will discuss local search and optimization. These methods are useful when the path is not very important. Ang concern natin ay makahanap ng magandang final state or the best possible solution. Second, we will look at local search in continuous spaces. Dito, the states are represented by real valued variables such as coordinates, angles, distances, speeds, or weights. Third, we will discuss non-deterministic actions. This means that the same action may produce different possible outcomes. Because of that, the solution is no longer a fixed sequence. It becomes a conditional plan. Parang, if this happens, do this. Otherwise, do something else. Fourth, we will examine partially observable environments. In this situation, the agent does not know its exact state. Instead, it keeps track of several possible states through what we call a belief state. Finally, we will discuss online search, where the agent acts, observes, and learns while exploring an environment that may initially be unknown. Before we continue, let me clarify two important terms that we will repeatedly use: agent and state. Think of a driver using Waze. That's our favorite, diba? The agent is the driver because the driver is the one making decisions. Whether to turn, stop, continue, or take another route. The state, on the other hand, is the driver's current situation. Kasama rito ang current location niya, nearby roads, traffic conditions, road closures, and possible obstacles, mga kaibigan. No? Ayun. For example, the driver is currently in one area, no? In Quezon Avenue, for example, traffic is heavy and the next road is closed. In this example, the agent is the driver. The state is the current road and traffic situation. The action is to take an alternative route. The new state is that the driver is now on another road with lighter traffic. So in simple terms, the agent is the decision maker, while the state describes the situation in which the decision is being made. Now, that these terms are clear, let us connect them into a real-world scenario that will guide us through the chapter. Imagine a disaster response drone operating after a typhoon here in the Philippines. Maymay, for example. It's a mission to search for survivors and send important information back to the rescue team. At first glance, parang simple lang, di ba? Find the shortest path and fly. Para bang ways, pero in the sky. Kaso may problema. Hindi naman cooperative ang real world. Some roads may be blocked by fallen trees or flood water. Strong winds may push the drone away from its intended direction. Its sensors may be affected by rain, smoke, or debris. It may not have a complete map of the area. And of course, limited din ang battery. Di ba? These are constraints. So, hindi pwedeng sabihin ng drone, bahala na, diretso lang. Because in complex environment, diretso lang can quickly become low battery, wrong location, mission failed. This scenario already reflects the major topics of Chapter 4. If the drone only needs to find a good final position, local search may help. If its movement involves coordinates, altitude, speed, and direction, then continuous optimization becomes relevant. If the same movement command produces different results because of wind, then the environment is non-deterministic. If the drone cannot observe the entire area clearly, then it operates under partial observability. And if it has to discover safe routes or routes while already flying, then it needs online search. So, in simple terms, hindi sapat ang shortest path kapag ang mundo mismo ay unpredictable, incomplete at may sariling attitude. Now, let us see each relaxed assumption leads to a more flexible search strategy. This table, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the most important slides in the session because it shows the logic of the entire chapter. Every time we relax one assumption from chapter 3, a new type of search problem appears. First, when the exact path is no longer important, we use local search. Ang focus is not paano ako nakarating dito, but rather maganda ba ang final state na nakuha ko? Parang sa scheduling problem na ba? Hindi naman natin kailangang i-document bawat trial and error arrangement. Ang mahalaga, makahanap tayo ng schedule na walang conflict. Second, when states involve continuous values such as coordinates, speed, distance, angle, or weight, the agent may need gradient-based methods or continuous optimization. Third, when actions become non-deterministic, one action may produce several possible outcomes, so hindi na sapat ang fixed action sequence na parang recipe na step 1, step 2, step 3. The agent needs a conditional plan. So if this happens, do this. Otherwise, do something else. Fourth, when the environment is partially observable, the agent cannot confidently say, I'm exactly in this state. Instead, it says, I may be one of these possible states. That set of possibilities is what we call a belief state. Hindi ito belief in the emotional sense, ha? Hindi ito manifesting. It is simply the agent's current set of possible states based on the available information. Finally, when the environment is unknown, the agent must use online search. It acts, observes the results, updates what it knows, and then chooses the next action. Parang tao na unang beses pumunta sa isang lugar, hindi pa kumpleto ang mapa eh. So every move is also a learning experience. The key idea is this. Every relaxed assumption creates a more complex search problem and therefore requires a more flexible search strategy. With that, let us now begin with section 4.1, local search and optimization. Section 4.1 focuses on local search and optimization problems. In Chapter 3, the usual goal was to find a path from an initial state to a goal state. But in many real-world problems, hindi naman natin kailangan malaman ang buong history ng bawat move. What matters is the final configuration. For example, imagine that we are creating a university class schedule. Hindi natin concern kung ilang beses nating nilipat ang subject, ang course, from Monday to Tuesday, or kung ilang trial ang error ang ginawa natin. Ang mahalaga is the final schedule. Walang subject conflict. Kasya ang students sa room. Available ang faculty. At hopefully, walang 7:30 a.m. class pagkatapos ng 9 p.m. class. In other words, We care about the quality of the final state, not the path used to reach it. This is the motivation behind local search. Local search starts from one current state and keeps moving to a neighboring state that appears better. It does not usually remember the entire path. Parang sinasabi ng algorithm, hindi ko kailangang balikan lahat ng pinagdaanan ko. Basta alam ko kung alin ang mas magandang next option. Sa local search is especially when the state space is very large, memory is limited. And we only need a good or optimal final solution. Let us now define local search more clearly. Okay, local search starts from one current state and moves to a neighboring state that appears better. Unlike systematic search, hindi nito ini-store ang complete path from the initial state. Hindi rin nito kailangang tandaan ang lahat ng states na napuntahan na. Because of that, memory efficient ang local search. This is useful when the search space is too large for algorithms such as breadth first search or A star to explore and store systematically. Parang instead na tandaan mo ang buong mapa, ang tinitingnan mo lang ay nasan ako ngayon at alin sa mga katabi ko kung options ang mukhang mas maganda. But of course, may kapalit ang pagiging memory efficient. Since local search is not systematic, possible na hindi nito ma-explore ang isang part ng search space kung saan naroon pala ang best solution. In other words, mabilis at practical siya, pero hindi laging guaranteed na nakikita niya ang global optimum. However, maraming real-world problems ang sobrang laki na hindi rin practical ang exhaustive or systematic search. For example, university last class scheduling, network layout, craft planning, factory floor design, and portfolio management. In these cases, a good solution found quickly may be more useful than a perfect solution na aabutin natin ng napakatagal bago ma-compute. So the main trade-off is this. Local search gives us systematic exploration in exchange for low memory use, speed, and practical usefulness. Or in simpler terms, hindi niya kailangang alalahanin ang buong journey. Katulad nung di ba? Hindi niya kailangang malaman ang buong mapa. Ang importante lang kung nasan siya. Ang concern niya ay kung mas gumaganda ba ang current solution. To understand how local search works visually, let us now look at the idea of a state space landscape. A state space landscape is a way of visualizing the value of different states. Imagine that every possible state is represented as a point on a landscape. The height of each point tells us how good the state is according to the objective function. So kapag mataas ang point, mas maganda ang state. Kapag mababa, mas poor ang solution. If the goal is to maximize the objective function, the agent wants to climb toward the highest peak, which we call the global maximum. On the other hand, if the goal is to minimize costs, the agent wants to move toward the deepest valley called the global minimum. This landscape is a useful way to understand both the strength and the weakness of local search. Powerful siya because the agent can keep improving the current solution step by step. But risky din siya because the agent usually sees only the immediate neighbors. So possible na umakyat siya sa isang nearby hill and stop there, even if there is a much higher mountain somewhere else. Parang umaakyat ka ng bundok na sobrang kapal ng fog. Nakikita mo lang kung saan mas mataas sa paligid mo, pero hindi mo kita ang buong mountain range. Kaya minsan akala mo na nasa pinakamataas ka na, pero local hill lang pala. The most basic algorithm that follows this idea is the high climbing search. Hill, hill climbing search keeps one current state in memory. At every step, it examines neighboring states and moves to the best neighbor. The process is simple. Start with the state, generate neighbors, evaluate them, move to the neighbor with the highest value. Repeat until no neighbor is better than the current state. This is called steepest ascent search because the algorithm moves in the direction that gives the greatest immediate improvement. It is also called greedy local search because it chooses the locally best option without thinking far ahead. It does not ask, will this choice lead to a better global solution later? It only asks, which neighbor state looks best right now? This makes hill climbing fast and memory efficient, but the same greediness makes it vulnerable to being trapped. Hill climbing is simple, efficient, and useful, but it has no guarantee of finding the global best state. A simple analogy is a chess player and the chessboard. The agent is the chess player because the player decides which move to make. The state is the current arrangement of the pieces on the board because it shows the situation in which the player must decide. After the player moves a piece, action, move the knight, new state, the pieces now have a different arrangement. You can say the agent is like a chess player making a move, while the state is the current position of all the pieces on the chessboard. Let us see this through the classic 8 queens problem. Let us test hill climbing using the classic 8 queens problem. The goal is to place 8 queens on a chessboard so that no two queens attack each other. In this complete state formulation, every state already has 8 queens, one queen in every column. A move means transferring one queen to another row within the same column. The heuristic H counts the number of attacking queen pairs. We want to minimize H until it becomes zero. Pause and predict. If the current board, if the current board has four attacking pairs and a neighboring board has two, which state will hill climbing choose? The one with two conflicts because it is the best immediate improvement. But here is the catch. A board with each equal to 1 may still have no neighboring board with a lower value. The algorithm can stop even though the real goal, h equal to 0, has not been reached. That is exactly why local maxima, ridges, and plateau matter. Hill climbing usually gets stuck because the search landscape may contain local maxima, ridges, and plateau. First, let us look at a local maximum. A local maximum is a state that is better than all of its immediate neighbors, but it is still not the best state in the entire search space. Parang umakyat ka sa isang mataas na burol. Pagtingin mo sa paligid, lahat ng possible steps ay pababa. So akala mo, nasa pinakamataas ka na. Pero somewhere in the distance, may mas mataas pa palang bundok. The problem is, hindi iyon nakikita ng hill climbing algorithm because local information lang ang basis niya. In the 8 queens problem, since we are minimizing conflicts, this can also be viewed as a local minimum in a cost. Wala nang nearby move na makakapagpababa ng conflicts kahit hindi pa zero ang value. Second is ridge. A ridge is narrow, rising area where progress requires a series of indirect or carefully chosen moves. Hindi straight ang way upward. Minsan kailangan mong gumalaw ng paside or even slightly downward before you can continue climbing. But hill climbing is greedy. Kapag hindi immediate better ang move, ayaw niya. Para siyang taong nagsasabing, kung hindi agad improvement, ayoko kasi nahihirapan siyang sundan ang ridge. Third is plateau. A plateau is a flat region where neighboring states have the same value. So kahit saan tumingin ang algorithm, parang pare-pareho lang ang quality ng options. Parang clear signal kung saan dapat pumunta. If may stop or it might keep wandering without making real progress, a shoulder is a special kind of plateau. Flat muna ang area, but there's still a possible path upward. The agent may need to make several sideways moves before it finds another improving directions. Parang nasa flat part ka ng mountain trail. Hindi ka tumataas for a while, pero kapag nagpatuloy ka, may uphill path pa pala sa dulo. So simple, ha? Simple hill climbing may fail even when a solution exists. Hindi naman siya completely clueless. Ang problema lang is limited ang nakikita niya. It judges everything based only on the current states and its immediate neighbors. Because of these weaknesses, several practical improvements were developed to help hill climbing escape or avoid these traps. Basic hill climbing can be improved on 4 practical ways. First, sideways moves temporarily allow an equal value move. Useful ito sa plateau or shoulder, but we must limit the number of sideways moves to avoid endless looping. Second, stochastic hill climbing randomly chooses among improved moves. Third, first choice hill climbing accepts the first randomly generated successor that improves the state, useful when there are many neighbors to evaluate. Fourth, random restart hill climbing runs the search again from a random starting state. Think of random restart as a multiple attempts from different starting points. One run may get trapped, but repeated independent runs can greatly increase the chance of finding a solution. Quick memory guide. Sideways for flat areas, stochastic for variety, first choice for huge neighborhoods, and random restart for a fresh bargaining. Next, we will see an algorithm that does not something even more surprising. It's something accepts a worse move on purpose. Simulated annealing addresses one major weakness of hill climbing. Hill climbing refuses to make a worse move. Because of that, it can easily get trapped in a local maximum. Simulated annealing sometimes accepts a worse move. At first, this sounds strange. Why would an intelligent algorithm intentionally moves to a worse state? The reason is exploration. A temporary bad move may allow the agent to escape a local optimum and eventually find a better region. The analogy comes from metallurgy. A material is heated so its particles can move freely, then gradually cooled so it settles into a strong, low energy structure. Metallurgy is the science and process of working with metals, especially heating, cooling, shaping, and strengthening them. Metal is heated so its particles can move freely, then cooled slowly, they settle into a stronger and more stable structure. AI analogy, high temperature, no? The algorithm freely tries many moves, even some worse moves. it gradually becomes more selective. It settles into good near optimal solution. Therefore, metallurgy deals with processing metals. Simulated annealing copies the annealing process, where metal is heated and slowly cooled so that it reaches a stable structure. In the algorithm, high temperature means the search is willing to explore and accept worse moves. Okay. Wor- Worse moves depends on two things: how bad move is and how high the temperature is. Simulated annealing combines the efficiency of hill climbing with the exploratory power of randomness. Another way to improve search is to keep several states instead of only one. Hill climbing keeps one current state. Local beam search keeps it k states at the same time. At every round, the algorithm generates the successor of all k states, evaluates them, and keeps only the best k candidates for the next round. Because several areas are explored together, the search has a better chances of discovering a promising region than a single state search. However, there is a danger. The k states may become too similar and cluster around one local optimum. Parang group project na lahat ng members iisa na lang ang idea. Marami nga ang tao pero iisa lang ang direksyon. Stochastic beam search helps preserve diversity by selecting successors according to probability rather than always choosing only the top K. The lesson is simple. Keeping more candidates helps, but diversity matters as much as quantity. Evolutionary algorithms maintain a population of possible solutions instead of improving only one state at a time. Excuse me. The basic idea is inspired by natural selection. In nature, individuals with better traits are more likely to survive and reproduce. Sa algorithm, candidate solutions with higher fitness are more likely to contribute to the next generation. Each individual represents one possible solution or one candidate state. Then a fitness function evaluates how good the candidate is. After evaluation, the algorithm selects parents, combines them through a recombination or crossover, introduces small random changes through mutation, and then produces a new generation. Over time, ideally, the population improves because the better individuals have a greater chance of passing useful parts of their solution into the next generation. Parang talent search siya. But instead of singing ability, ang basis ng selection ay kung gaano kaganda ang solution. In the eight queens problem, one individual can be represented as an eight-digit string. Each digit indicates the row position of the queen in a particular column. For example, the first digit tells us where the queen is placed in column 1. The second digit gives the position in column 2, and so on and so forth. The fitness function may count the number of queen pairs that are not attacking each other. So the fewer the conflicts, the higher the fitness. A complete solution has the maximum possible fitness because none of the queens attack one another. Crossover combines portions of two parent solutions. Parang kumuha tayo ng magandang part from parent A and another useful part from parent B. Then, pinagsama natin to create a new candidate. Mutation, on the other hand, introduces a small random change. For example, one digit may be changed, which means one queen is moved another row. Mutation is important because it adds variety. Kung puro copies lang ng parents, baka ma-stuck din ang buong population sa parehong type of solution. So the key takeaway is evolutionary algorithms search using a population of candidate solutions not just one current state. However, the success of a genetic algorithm depends greatly on how the solution is represented. Kahit powerful ang selection, crossover at mutation kung hindi meaningful ang representation. Baka ang mapagsamang parts ay walang practical value. So let us now look at why representation matters in genetic algorithms. This slide highlights an important factor in genetic algorithms. Representation yan. A genetic algorithms works best when meaningful parts of a solution are encoded as useful building blocks. For example, in the 8 queens problems that we were able to discuss earlier, suppose the first 3 queens are already placed in positions where they do not attack each other. The partial arrangement may be useful building block. Through crossover, the algorithms may combine the good partial arrangement with another useful block from a different parent. Parang kumuha tayo ng dalawang magandang ideas. Then pinagsama natin para makabuo ng mas promising na solution. But there's a catch. If the representation is poorly designed, crossover may destroy useful structures instead of preserving them. So hindi porket may crossover, automatic na magiging better ang offspring. Russell and Norvig point out that crossover is useful only when the group or adjacent parts of the representation have a meaningful relationships. In other words, garbage representation in, garbage offspring out. This gives us a broader lesson in AI and optimization. Algorithms are not magic. Their performance depends heavily on how we formulate and represent the problem. For example, in the scheduling problem, what could serve a meaningful building block? One possible answer is a conflict-free weekly schedule for another faculty member. If that block is already good, the algorithm may combine it with other good blocks, such as room assignments or subject schedules. So before choosing a sophisticated algorithm, we should first ask, is our representation meaningful enough for the algorithm to work with? With that, let us now summarize when local search is most appropriate. Local search is most appropriate when the final configuration matters more than the exact path used to reach it. It is especially useful when the search space large, limited, ang available memory, and an approximate but good solution is acceptable. In many real-world problems, many reasonably good answer quickly is more valuable than waiting forever for the perfect answer. But local search needs one more important component, an objective function or a fitness function. Ito ang nagsasabi kung gaano kaganda or how bad a particular is. Without a way to measure quality, hindi malalaman ng algorithm kung ang next move ba ay improvement or downgrade. Parang teacher na nag-check ng output without a rubric. Paano natin masasabi kung excellent, developing, or sir, effort naman po? We need a clear basis for evaluation. Common applications of local search include university timetabling, telecommunications network design, factory floor layout, portfolio selection, and neural architectural search. In cybersecurity, local search can also be used for resource allocation. For example, suppose an organization has a limited security budget, hindi nitong kayang bilhin at i-deploy lahat ng possible controls. The organization may need to decide which system should receive stronger protection. Should more funds go to firewalls, employee training, endpoint detection, or backups? Which combination of controls will reduce the greatest amount of risk within the available budget? Each possible combination represents a state, and the objective function can measure factors such as risk, reduction, cost, and coverage. So, the key takeaway is local search is practical memory efficient, and widely applicable, but we must remain aware of local optima, plateau, and the importance of good problem representation. So far, our examples involve discrete choices, such as moving a queen from one square to another. But what happens when the possible values are not limited to separate positions? What if the agent must choose among infinitely many coordinates, speeds, angles, or parameter values? That brings us to section 4.2, local search in continuous space. Maybe we will be having part 2 of this. We will be just finishing until slide 20. We are now in slide 19. Okay? Okay. So far, most of our choices were discrete. Move a queen to a particular square or choose one schedule configuration, but many real problems do not come in separate batches. A robot may choose at any angle, a drone may fly at many possible speeds and altitudes, and machine learning model may adjust millions of real valued weights. Welcome to continuous spaces where the number of possible states may be infinite. Okay, so this will be our last slide before we go to the part 2 because it's quite long. It's already 41 minutes. Okay, in a continuous problem, a state is often represented as a vector of real valued variables. For example, x may contain coordinates, angles, speeds, weights, or thresholds. Why is this difficult? Because the branching factor can be infinite. We cannot simply generate every possible successor. Between 1.0 and 1.1, there are already infinite many real numbers. So the agent needs another way to decide where to move. It may approximately the space using a grid, estimate improvement from nearby points, or use gradient information when the objective function is differentiable. The important shift is this. In discrete search, we can list the neighboring choices. In continuous search, we usually need mathematics or approximation to define a useful direction. Before we end, quick recap muna tayo. Sa part 1, nakita natin kung paano naghahanap ang AI ang solutions. Complex environments mula sa local search at hill climbing hanggang simulated annealing, local beam search at evolutionary algorithms. At dito muna tayo magtatapos sa introduction ng continuous spaces kung saan hindi na sapat na isa-isahin lang ang napakaraming possible moves. Pero hindi pa tapos ang journey natin. Sa part 2, pag-aralan natin kung paano hinaharap ng AI ang continuous spaces gamit ang discretization at gradient methods. Pag-uusapan din natin ang non-deterministic actions and or search, belief states, partial observability, at online search gaya ng LRTA star. Kung may natutunan ka sa session na ito, i-like ang video, mag-subscribe sa Tech Talk with Alan Burgos at i-comment ang part 2 para malaman kung ready na kayong ipagpatuloy ang ating AI learning journey. Tandaan, intelligent search is not just about finding a path, it's about making better decisions kahit complex, uncertain, at incomplete ang information. Ako si Alan Burgos at magkita-kita tayo sa part 2. Keep learning, keep exploring, and keep innovating.